going?
Oh,
So, so before we jump into it, um, as as mentioned before, each of you were saved in various forms by this group of knights. Probably saved fairly recently in the last couple months or so. And this group seems to be, taking in anyone that has been harmed during a recent conflict that we don't have to get into the details of because you are children. You do not pay attention to the details.
I have a 16 intelligence. I would like to beg to differ.
Fair, we will get to that then. But I would like to you each to take a couple minutes to uh, describe yourselves and to lay out a basic backstory, as little or as detailed as you'd like. Anything along those lines. How you were saved, what happened, that kind of thing.
Sure. Um,
Who's going first? Pick now or I pick.
It sounded like Chloe was. That's why I didn't immediately jump on it.
no, I'm not going first.
Okay, shit. All right, I'll go. Goddamn, calm down. I'm playing Nick. Nick is a fun little purple tiefling friend, who, frankly, is just kind of in it for the bit. He doesn't know what parents are, despite his 16 intelligence, because he never had them. It's something that everyone else seems to have, and he hasn't quite figured out that it's something you can't steal. But he's busy enough stealing other things that, it hasn't occurred to him that you can't steal everything. He's not quite sure what was going on, but when he got rescued by the knights, he thought he was being arrested, so one of them got bit pretty bad, but kind of laughed it off, because, they're knights, they're probably paladins, he had lay on hands, it was fine.
Sure is.
But yeah, mostly that's just kind of his deal. He likes to cause trouble and he likes to steal things. And the only reason he didn't call himself Thief instead of Nick is because Nick is both a verb and also a name, and slightly more subtle than just calling yourself Thief.
Fair. All right. Who's going next?
Chloe's not gonna take it. I'll take it.
That's what she said.
I am going to cry.
Again?
I really need a good cry, and I've only had summer.
Relatable. I'll try hard. Don't worry.
That's not reassuring.
My character is named Lydian. They are a drow who, frankly, they have always been just a little bit too clever for their own good, but not always the smartest about things. They did know their parents, but not very well because of how long they were with them. So they have a vague outline of what their face looked like. And frankly, I think that they survived purely off of luck. They just happened to run in the right direction and hide behind the right things until they got found. They are pretty short. They got a lighter skin tone than most drow, but still in that bluish purple range, and like a stark white hair, and typical red eyes. with a little bit of like a purple shimmer around the yeah.
Hell yeah. Speaking of, did we get a description of Nick? I don't think so.
That is because Nick is simply purple, and he doesn't know anything else about what he looks like because he doesn't care.
Fair enough.
You're right if I put him.
A purple ragamuffin.
Oh my god, I love ragamuffins. Like Lumi. Muffin?
Alright, Chloe, your turn.
Wow, it's almost like I just thought of a name and a race and went, time to cook.
Well, you can start cooking.
Wow. I know, I did walk myself into it. Thanks, Kaz. So I'm playing Addie, short for Addlestone, who is a little Earth Genasi. They were like, so she is green, like green, a mix of kind of green and grey. So kind of has like grey and green hair, grey skin, green eyes. Very much was like a rocky moss sort of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And she just got lost wandering up in the rocks and everything. Kind of wandered away from the family and kind of fell down a cliff. Not like a full cliff, but like a half cliff. I don't know what a half cliff is called.
An escarpment.
An escarpment. And she couldn't find a way to get back up, so she went wandering and found the light.
Slay. Alright. Awesome. So, if any of you have tried to find out details of the nights prior to this, let me know now. Otherwise, it's very basic.
Nick 100% has, because again, he thought he was being arrested.
Then there aren't a lot of like cities or even big towns in this area of the wilderness. It's mostly smaller towns or like a couple houses grouped together. That's not even enough people to really call a town. So this group of knights is pretty much the protectors of this area and considered like really the only remote authorities. But Nick, you can figure out pretty quickly that most of what they do, while there is some attention on the surrounding area, there seems to be a lot of knights coming and going and traveling pretty far. It seems that their order is very focused on some sort of specific mission, and them helping out the local people and you orphans is like a, just kind of like a side thing they're doing because they're already here. The group is specifically called the Thorn Band, and their symbol is like a circle of thorns twined together, and upon prying once, one of the knights might have told you that it's to symbolize, that they are thorns wrapped around people to protect them from the dangers on the outside.
I think about 80% of that went over his head, and he just went,
exactly.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. A good amount of them seem to be tieflings and Aasimars, so there are other races. But it seems like this is a few specific families that have been like doing this for a couple generations. The leader of the group is named Creed. The three of you probably briefly met him when you were each first brought to this fort. He was a large tiefling with very big horns, gray hair, Um, greeted you all warmly, indicated he was a father, hoped you all could, if not here with the knights, eventually, hopefully they could help you find somewhere you could grow up safely. Um, he is, however, currently not present in the fort, as he had taken the main body of knights out to meet whatever this danger has been. So who knows where he is currently. But where we are currently is in one of the bunk rooms where the three of you had been allocated some beds. You're the three youngest children currently in the fort. There's a couple of older teens that have started in training to join the knights, but none of them are present. The minder that was supposed to be looking after the three of you had heard shouting and has just now stepped out of the room to go and figure out what the shouting is. All the three of you know was that there was a group of enemies coming to attack the fort. You're not sure if the fort has been breached. You're not sure what's going on. But there is shouting outside and there's the smell of smoke. What would the three of you like to do?
Is there like a door or anything that we can peer out of, or like a window?
You guys are essentially in one room that just has a series of bunk beds that you guys and some of the younger recruits sleep on. So yes, there is a doorway, but you'd probably have to crack it open to look outside.
I'm straight away going to do that.
Slay, go ahead and roll wisdom.
Wow.
Wow, crazy.
Rolling wisdom. Don't know what that is. I probably should have written down the modifiers to each of these scores as well, shouldn't I? Hold on. Which is plus 2, 17, 19.
Go off. That's pretty good. All right. Peering out, Addie, immediately outside of this doorway is kind of an open air hallway, and it looks like most of the other doors of what would have been the other bunk rooms are slightly ajar. Maybe people were in rushes. You can hear the clank of armor as people run. There's some shouting to something about fortifying, something about barring a gate. But nobody gives you a second look, even as they run past. Something's definitely gone wrong, that's for sure.
Okay, I'm going to turn to the other two and go, something's gone wrong, that's for sure.
I think Nick has at this point developed a bit. He's got the bunk closest to a back corner, and he's found a ball. So he's just bouncing the ball. He's sitting on the floor next to his bed, bouncing the ball against the wall in the floor.
You're bouncing the wall against the ball.
I can't talk. This is known. But he's just doing that thing that you do in like you see in prison movies where the guy has a baseball and he's just bouncing it against the wall. Yeah. And he's just yes, something has gone wrong. We live here. Of course something has gone wrong.
Don't sass me.
You don't even know what that means.
Say it.
As you guys have this brief, sassy exchange with each other, the earth shakes once more. It's been shaking a couple times over the last hour or so, seemingly increasing in frequency as the hour has progressed. It hasn't been enough to knock anything in this room down yet, but this enough. Chloe? Chloe?
Chloe?
Chloe?
Chloe?
blink if you're here.
Yes, because we'll be able to notice that.
My Discord did
Oh.
the thing, so I had to leave and come back.
This is
This
so
is fair.
sad. We can hear you now. I know I just said in chat. I can't, but. But it hasn't been shaking enough to knock anything down in this room yet, but it has been enough where you all have to kind of brace yourselves briefly to avoid tripping or tipping or anything like that.
Nick gets up, drops the ball on the ground, and casts Thaumaturgy while yelling, "You're not special! I can do it too!"
The floor shakes even more.
Would you knock that off?
No, do it again.
Nick does it again.
No! Stop!
Somewhere, Nick, you hear the sound of stone crumbling. Did you do that?
No, that was me. It's from me yelling.
Oh.
I think Nick, hearing the stone crumbling, is gonna be like, "Wait, shit, did I do that?" And then he's going to have a look outside.
You see much the same as Addie had. You don't see a lot of people. Occasionally one person does run past, seeming to be preparing for whatever this is. And as you're standing beside Addie, trying to peer out, get a better idea, you hear a faint, loud bang and crash, and somebody screaming, and somebody yells, "They breached the gates!"
Okay, I definitely didn't do that one. Something's wrong.
I'm still not convinced.
Oh, something is obviously happening. Why don't we go find it?
There is no scenario where this ends badly. I'm in.
Everyone is there fixing the breach. Then we can go exploring and it'll be fine because they're sorting it.
And we won't get caught because they're busy looking the other way. I like this plan.
I think you're being really optimistic
So
here.
we don't have to worry.
I think you guys are
Take Discord.
missing what is going on around us.
Oh, did you make a baby druid? Is that why you're like this?
I like this because this is how I play all my characters. But in my mind, yes.
As you're saying that and kind of approaching the other two to lightly tell them off, there is the sound of footsteps in the hall, and then the door is thrown the rest of the way open. The caretaker who had been minding the three of you is named Eleanor. She is essentially a junior knight, just got knighted not long ago, but had been not that kind of caretaker, Connor. That's why I switched to minder. She hadn't been dressed in full armor the last you three saw her when she had stepped out of the room to see what is happening. But it's unclear if armor would have even helped her situation, as there is a spear through her gut and blood is splattering on the floor to a degree that none of the three of you have seen before. She's kind of
throw up.
understandable. In case it wasn't clear, we're about to have a bad time, y'all. She is clutching the door frame and kind of panting, and says, "Three of you, you need to run. There's the back
Nick's already
gate.
running.
There's a safe room in the cellar." And she slides down the door frame and collapses.
Nick's already gone. Like he said, you three need to run. Nick was already running. He's literally yelling over his shoulder, "Run, run!"
Are the two of you going with?
Yeah.
I think there is definitely a moment of looking at each other and being like, I guess. And
Yeah, I
then-
was just about to say, like, we definitely look at each other and go, are we going?
shrug shoulder and just like dead person.
Oh, she's definitely not dead yet. She's gasping and rattling and making the puddle even bigger, but
Soon to be dead person.
She's not dead yet. That's encouraging.
It's like I'm like looking back at this dead adult on the ground, looking back up and going, "You got time?" And I'm gonna chase after Nick. And as we're running, can I cast Pass Without Trace on all of us?
you can.
How do you have Pass Without Trace?
Earth Genasi.
As a
Oh, right.
Oh, that's right.
As you cast it over the three of you, you can all feel your steps not quite glide, but impact softly with the stone floor, more like you're running on blankets than stone, and your footsteps are much quieter. But as you all take off down the hallway, where are you heading?
Nick turns to her and goes, "Why the fuck didn't you tell me you could do that?"
I told you I panicked and I just did it.
Sure, whatever. Okay, we run.
No, it was definitely that thing of like, Addie didn't mean to cast it. She didn't know she could. So like, as they're running, all she's thinking is like, all she's thinking is like, I don't want anyone to see us, and it just happens.
Baby's first spell.
Yeah.
Grandma Wren is in the background. Marvelous first spell.
Yes. Oh, I know that thing. I know that.
I know that reference.
I understood that reference. Calm down, Steve.
Okay, 2015.
Was that 2015?
I
thought that was like
probably more like
2009.
14. No, because it came out
No,
while I was
'cause-
in high school. So it would have been
Yeah.
13 or 14, probably. Anyways,
No, because I'm pretty sure my dad saw the Avengers movie. So it couldn't have been 13.
Well, Avengers came out in 12.
Okay, so yeah, that makes more sense. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
yeah, that was still during my high school. But, I had a brain fart for a second. The three of you know the most vaguest layout of this fort. Really just like the public areas, such as like the canteen, the bunk rooms, the training area where you're allowed to play. The three of you have a vague idea of where the back gate might be, and maybe where the cellar might be, but you're not 100% sure. Where are you all heading?
I would like to contend that Nick 100% has a better idea of where the cellar is, simply because that's where they store stuff and he wants snacks.
Go ahead and roll wisdom, Nick.
Wisdom! I have to disassemble my dice tower. That is a 12.
Okay. You do indeed know the location of the food cellar, though you have snuck down there before to get snacks, and probably have been caught doing so, but you were allowed. However, you don't recall seeing anything like a safe room, and you're not sure if there are, in fact, multiple cellars. Unclear. This fort does have multiple buildings.
Instructions unclear. Returning to snacks.
Valid. Beelining for the snacks. You can at least take some food with.
That literally, that is his thinking, is people are dying, we're either going to hide or we're going to run, and either way, I'm hungry.
Fair. All right. You lead the other two to the best of your memory, towards where the food cellar is, the pantry, if you will.
Oh my god, Mom?
What, Clay?
Pants? Oh my god.
Real? But as the three of you break free of the open air hallway that has all of these bunk rooms connected to it, and enter out into the secondary courtyard of the fort. You get a better view of the chaos that is going on. On the far end, you can indeed see that the massive log gate, probably the biggest gate any of you had ever seen in your lives. This is the biggest structure as a whole the three of you have ever seen in your lives, this fort. The gate, made of dozens and dozens of hefty, huge logs, is blasted apart. Burning. There is a clear impact point of what might have been a massive fireball. There's fighting. There are various combatants entering through the gates. None of them are wearing like structured uniforms like the knights. Some of them look like normal people, but others certainly don't. But either way, the knights are struggling. You can see a couple dead bodies. There are spells being flung. It's not going great, but nobody seems to clock the presence of you three. So you guys can either try and cross the courtyard as quickly as possible, or you can try and skirt around the edge and roll stealth.
I would like to roll stealth because we still have pass without trace.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I suppose that would be a smart idea.
Yeah. So the three of you can roll dexterity, and I think it's a +10 from pass without a trace.
It is
So that's a 19.
Go off.
That is a 15.
Well, I just died.
Say again?
I just rolled a 19 on my die.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Man, these kids are sneaky.
Real.
And I have a +1, so that's, what's that? 30?
30?
Jesus, are you sure you're not going to be a rogue?
The
Leadin
rest of you guys-
disappears.
The rest of you guys are like, all right, we're hiding, and then you turn around and I am gone.
Yeah.
Leadin is fully invisible.
Kaz just Nora's just pulled the invisibility cloak out their back pocket.
Real. It's odd, you know. Remind me how to pronounce. Is it Leiden? Leiden?
Yes, Leiden.
Leiden. Okay, Leiden. Leiden, it's odd, you know. You can see the bodies. You can see the terror. The three of you are trying to be sneaky. Your heart is pounding. But there's something in the air right now. Something that just makes sense to you. And this power curls around you, smelling of lilac and honeysuckle. And it's just easier for you to breathe. It's easier for you to be sneaky. You can feel the grass under your feet shift with you and almost help. Who knows? Possible druid moment, possible rogue moment, who knows? But as you each begin to skirt around the edges, skirt, there is a moment where one of the combatants, one of the few enemies who seems to be wearing like proper knight armor, similar to the knights, kind of this dark steel, black hair, kind of pauses as if seeing the three of you and tenses, and they shout over their shoulder, "There's children in the fort! They've got prisoners! Take the children!" And a few of the combatants seem to notice. Who was it that rolled the 15? Was it Chloe?
That was Chloe.
They seem to mainly have only noticed Addie as the three of you are darting behind barrels. But the two of you are still hidden, it seems. It seems Addie was the only one spotted. So it's up to you three how you wish to react.
I would like to cast dancing lights in their face.
Alright. I'm gonna roll. They kind of splutter and jerk back, and you get a brief view that they have only one eye. And you've blinded them in their one remaining eye, briefly at least. And it seems a brief enough distraction that the three of you were able to duck between buildings and be unseen once more.
Let's go.
Let's go.
The only time I've ever used that cantrip successfully.
We love to see it.
All right. Now that you three are in between these two buildings, there is a back door in front of you that leads into the kitchen and eventually down into the cellar pantry. It looks like it is unlocked. It looks slightly ajar. You don't see anyone. You don't hear anything from inside.
Which is it, a door or a jar?
Okay, you. Man. It's a door.
Life is a journey, time is a river, the door is a jar.
Okay. Are you going inside or not?
Yes, I will go inside your back door.
Man.
Or is it a back jar?
You open the door.
There's not a mason jar in the back door.
The kitchen is quiet. It looks like the next meal, lunch, might have been being prepared but has since been abandoned. There is a pot boiling over on the stove. There's vegetables scattered on the floor, maybe where someone dropped them. But there's nobody in the kitchen from what you three can see.
Nick is going to grab the most portable food he can see and immediately start munching as he wanders around.
Yeah, snatching a few of the tomatoes off the floor, stuffing your face with them.
Floor tomatoes. This is the most disgusting thing I personally, Connor, have ever heard of. Just eating raw floor potatoes, or tomatoes rather. Just what the fuck.
I think for a second, Andy's like, "Oh, food," and then sees you like chomp down on these floor tomatoes, and just maybe I feel like Nick's a messy eater.
100%.
Yeah, and just sees you like dribble some of the tomato, and just thinks to the night that they left dying on the floor, the red blood.
Oh god!
So
you know what? I
was
feel
hungry,
like
and now
being a
she's not.
tiefling that counts as a microaggression.
What?
the microaggression.
I can't believe this child is committing blood libel against the tiefling.
No! You see a splattered, squished tomato and you go, "Oh my god, blood."
I throw up again.
No.
There isn't a ton of food in the kitchen that's already prepared or ready, but the door to the cellar is right there.
Door, cellar, downstairs.
All right. The chill air of the cellar definitely feels nicer, feels less tense. Though as you begin to hurry down the short wooden stairs, your nose kind of twitches. The three of you immediately notice, not coming from the cellar, but there is just in general a smell that has entered the air. A feeling, a prickle on the back of your necks, like some base instinct warning you that a predator is in the area. But it's not coming from the cellar. It just kind of seems all around. So it's probably fine to go in the cellar.
Nick is intimately familiar with this feeling as a child who has spent a lot of time on the run and is going to immediately find a shelf, a stack of burlap sacks, something to hide behind or underneath.
Yeah.
Nick,
Are-
why are you hiding?
Say again, Chloe.
Why are you hiding?
Something here? I know something here. Hide. Need to hide. That's bad. Know that feeling? Don't like that feeling? We need to hide.
Okay, I'll get under a table.
All right.
That is a bad hiding spot. Something smaller.
I hide behind the book.
What's a good ball? Is there a big barrel of dried pasta? All right.
There isn't one of pasta, but there is one of potatoes.
Oh, dibs.
Ben.
There's 2 barrels of potatoes. You can both go in one.
I was about to say, I can't believe you're denying the Irishman potatoes.
No, I think that we both jump in.
You're so fucking British.
I am English, so
My God. It's quiet for a few seconds. There's no footsteps or anything. You can still distantly hear the sound of fighting, but it doesn't sound like it's super close to you guys. And eventually comes the feeling, the thought of like, well, maybe we're actually okay. And then the ground shakes like the 3 of you have never felt. It shakes proper. It quakes. And you can hear the towers of the fort crumble. People screaming. There's distant booms, the crackle of fire. The ground quakes, and it does not stop for 2 minutes. And when it eventually does stop, and the 3 of you emerge from your hiding spots, the shelves here in the cellar are tipped, fallen over. Food is scattered, still certainly gatherable, but it's definitely not safe down here. More things could fall. There's ground and a building above you guys. If there's another quake, it could be bad down here. This definitely isn't
This was
a super secure room.
not the cellar I thought they meant. Other ideas?
can I bite a raw potato?
Yes, you can. Very starchy, not tasty.
Great, thank you.
Can I pocket
I would like
a
to
couple
pocket
potatoes?
Yeah,
Yes.
I would also like to pocket some potatoes.
Pocket some potatoes. There's some rolls set aside. Pocket a few of those. There's several like pre-prepared bags of rations you guys can grab if you want.
Yep,
just
just throwing
potatoes
those in there, going. I now have a backpack full of rations.
Every single pocket that I have is full of potatoes. I think it's like carpet style, so like way too many pockets to end up.
Way too many pockets full of potatoes. Yeah, I have disadvantage on stealth checks.
I do love picturing this like tiny purple tiefling with a comically large sack of food.
100%. The only reason he's not tipping over is because 1, he has 13 strength, and 2, he is a thief. He has done this before. He has practice.
Oh, certainly.
I
He's
pushed
used
the
to
sack
dragging
just a little bit. Can I push the sack like a little bit just so Nick falls over?
I will make a dexterity saving throw. We will see how this goes.
Addie roll strength, and Nick roll dexterity.
That is a 10.
11.
Damn it! I fall.
Nice.
What? Like, I think the second he feels his balance shifting, he goes,
Oh no, I tripped. Sorry.
Guys, this isn't the time.
gets up, grabs the bag, goes, you go in front.
I giggle and go in front.
Nick no longer trusts Addie behind him.
All right, you guys head back up into the kitchen. There's still no people in here, but presumably from the bigger quake that just happened, the once boiling pot on the stove has been knocked over. Hot water has been spilled across the floor. Thankfully, you all have shoes. It's not a concern for you.
I have fire resistance.
Yeah, there's pots and pans that have fallen to the floor. It's definitely a mess in here. And the fighting outside does sound like it's getting closer.
So, which way should we go?
It's up to you guys. Leonore had mentioned a safe room and also the back gate.
Yeah, Nick was about to bring that up. It's like, I thought I knew where the safe room was, but it's not there. So, run for back gate, I assume, maybe?
Yes. Yeah, we'll run for the back gate.
Okay, yes, like this plan.
Which way's that?
I would assume the opposite direction of the front gate.
Wow, really? And then I start running.
Yeah, you burst out of the door and take off running, but you only get a few steps before the three of you see something that kind of gives you pause. You've all been told of some of roughly some of the things that have happened in the world. This war, that war. You're kids. You don't pay attention to the details. But you have all heard of many years ago when the sky changed colors and everyone died. The sky isn't blue. It is only black. It is purple and red and yellow and shrieking, shifting colors. There's streaks of light across the sky like meteors, but more than you have ever seen before. And perhaps to a child, it might look like the sky is falling.
Oh my god.
Oh, I know what.
You're in Chicken Run.
But you guys can start running again if you want.
I'm no chicken. I don't run.
Real?
That's not true.
I sit on the ground and die. No.
Yeah, go! And I start running.
I immediately start chasing after them.
I would like to roll stealth again because I don't want to get caught.
All right. Are you all being stealthy, or are the two of you keeping running?
I'm running. I have shit stealth.
If we're no longer under the spell, I'm just gonna run.
Yeah, because the spell does go with Addie, so...
Yeah, it goes with me, and it lasts an hour.
So you guys
Okay,
can try...
is it an AoE or
It is
were we
AoE.
affected? Okay, that's unfortunate.
You guys can do, like, a stealthy run, but it would be stealth at disadvantage, essentially.
With the plus 10, though.
Yeah, exactly.
My first roll sucked anyway, so...
Well, mine was that good.
I mean, mine was pretty good, but my second one was a 17.
Yeah, no, both of mine were quite bad. 13?
Oof.
13. 23.
Jesus.
Oh no, sorry, I lied. 12.
22.
The two of you have gotten more used to this power than Addie has.
Addie still doesn't know she's doing it.
Yeah, you're being careful. You're running from like barrel to wall corner. So while you're still keeping up pace, you're being more aware of keeping yourselves hidden. Addie, on the other hand, you're leading the way. You're scared. The sky is falling. You're pretty sure your friends are behind you, but you're not 100% sure. And as you round a corner, you slam into the chest of a person. It is let's say a Leoden. She's wearing kind of leather armor. She's not anyone you've seen before. There's blood splattered across her face. She's armed, and she stares down at you, confused for a moment, and reaches to, you're not sure, grab you, hurt you. She's got massive claws. But before she makes contact, a sword goes through her chest and is yanked back out as she collapses next to you. And you can see a knight that you recognize. Their name is Vigilant. They're kind of this copper orange tiefling. They are one of the knights. And they kind of freeze at seeing you, similar to the Leoden had just done. And says, Addison, you have to get out of here. It's not safe. There's something here.
What do you mean something? Can't you see it?
We thought it was just an army, but there's something here. There's a hunter.
Back gate, where's the back gate? Like, I think once, like, Nick is charging up the second he realizes, like, okay, this is someone we know, just going, back gate, we were told back gate, where's the back gate?
Kind of, like, spins to briefly reorientate themselves, and points in the direction of one of the taller buildings. Behind the general's, longhouse. The back gate is there. I believe it's locked right now. But the key is inside, the commander's desk, in his room.
Cool, got it, going. Off he goes.
Mm-hmm. Alright. The three of you take off once more, heading towards the commander's longhouse. This would be Creed's longhouse. As you approach,
Chloe.
the big
I'm sorry.
the big double doors are open. Presumably the guards that had been inside kind of guarding, secret, various order information, have run out at the sounds of fighting. And entering into this first main room, there doesn't seem to be anyone. This is where the three of you met Creed. It's kind of, his room where he meets with people, discusses important matters. His big chair that he normally sits in at the far side of the room. It looks relatively normal in here. And there is a feeling from outside as you enter. That feeling of a predator. It's coming closer. You three have a limited amount of time.
Desk, looking for key.
Yeah, there's a room to the left and a room to the right. You know one is the bedroom and one is the office, but you're not sure which is which. Which direction do you go first?
Split up.
You split up?
I think Nick's gonna look at the other two and be like, I'm going right, you go left, and if you find the office, yell. And then he's gonna go right.
Okay.
Go left.
All right.
You don't need to make a decision. Both decisions are done. Just follow someone.
Sits on the ground. No.
Nick did say you too.
Yeah, probably follow.
Go off. All right. We will. Nick, you had gone right, correct?
Nick went right.
All right, then we'll get to you in a sec. To the left, the two of you throw open the door to find what seems to be a bedroom. There is a large, two-person bed. Who the fuck knows, king or queen or whatever. There's various belongings. It doesn't seem to be a lot of personal belongings. Trying to do a quick scan if you're seeing a desk. There's a painting on one of the walls of what looks like a younger Creed, with two tiefling children, two boys, short curly hair, dark hair, tan skin, but no desk in here. So the two of you begin to turn to follow after Nick. Nick, as you open the room on the right, there is indeed a desk here, a large, fancy one, with carvings in it, a little bit gilded. It's definitely a lot fancier than most of the Thornband style. There's some paintings on the walls, looks like various important knights. You recognize a couple of them. But most nerve-wracking of all is the great sword leaned against the far wall. You know that's Creed's sword. You don't know why he doesn't have it with him.
Take the sword, take the sword, take the sword.
It is taller than any of you.
Take it.
Yeah, and there's three of us.
This is the anime opening we need.
I can't wait to find out. I cannot wait to find out that I have just run past like a legendary artifact of Dormandel as a small child later on. Nick is hauling ask. I cannot.
Real.
Goddamn motherfucking dog. Nick is hauling ass to the desk. Like going through the desk looking for key. That's all he gives a shit. He wants key, he wants to get to back door, he wants to leave.
Go off. Alright. You begin hurriedly pulling open drawers. Lots of papers. Unimportant. You don't have time to read papers. There's various knickknacks.
I'm fairly literate anyway.
Yeah, there is a ring. There is, various things that might be magic items, but
He's taking the ring.
Go off.
100% taking the ring.
You grab it, and there is an immediate tingle to your fingers. It is cold steel iron. You know it is important. There is some kind of magic to it. You don't know what it does.
Pocket.
Slay. Keep digging. All of the drawers seem to not have anything in them. No key. You can't find a key. There is one drawer that does not open.
Nick is going, like, he knows this trick that adults sometimes pull. He's going to rip, like, I don't think he's actually rifling through the drawers. People are dying outside. He does not want to be here. He's ripping the drawers out and dumping them. So, like literally he goes, oh, there's a ring. Okay, that's probably cool. Puts that in his pocket. And, like, as he's dumping out drawers, so, like, can he get under this one that's locked? Is there an over, perhaps? Like,
go ahead and roll intelligence.
That's a 13.
13. All right. With that, you pull out the top drawer, try to reach down, but it seems like there's a panel in between. You pull out the drawer underneath and try to see if there's some way to push the other drawer out. There's nothing. And as you begin to, panic, you're freaking out, there's dead people outside, that feeling of being hunted is growing. And you nudge the knob and notice that there is a small button on the side of it.
I push button.
Secret button. Yeah. The drawer pops open. Inside, it looks like some important things. Looks like some money, maybe. There is
just full coins in the pocket.
Yeah, and there is a large ring of keys.
Okay. Do any of them stand out, or is it just ring?
There is one. Sorry, no. There are two keys that are separate. One bigger one, one smaller one, and then there is a main section of a ring of keys that all look extremely similar, but have numbers written on them.
Okay, don't care about the big ring of keys. I'm pretty sure that's probably for numbered doors inside the fort. I want the separate ones. The big one and the small one are probably for the gates.
Slay. All right, you grab them. As you grab them, you feel your finger nudge against something cold. kind of shift to find something at the back of the drawer. It's several small glass bottles. And even with a cursory glance, as you hurriedly grab the keys and begin to move away, there's blood in the bottles. You're not quite sure. And you think there's names written on them, but you'd have to take some time to read the tiny script.
No. He's not going to bother with that. He's going to reach, grab the bottles, he's going to smash them all around, and he's going to...
Slay!
Found the key, let's go!
All right. You have the 2 keys. The 3 of you begin to hurry out. As you re-enter the main room, I need the 3 of you to please roll wisdom.
Woo!
Hey! That's an 18!
Woohoo!
Let's go.
You guys aren't gonna believe it. I got a natural.
Oh,
Baby druid.
I got an 8.
Chloe!
oh my
Would you
god.
like some of my natural 20?
These were the dice she got me.
Okay, can we average Nor and Chloe's rolls together? Because that still gives them both a 14.
I'll give up natural for a kinky.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Addie,
Addie, you're gonna die, bud.
Addie, you're too distracted looking at the keys, looking at the ransacked desk that Nick did. And Nick, you are aware that there is something dangerous directly outside, but Leah, you are the one who gets a better idea of what it is. That feeling comes again. The smell in the air, the tingle in your feet, a curl of maybe magic, warning you that there is a predator outside. A large hunter. Something that nature whispers to you is looking for its prey and will devour anything in its way. And it is right outside, to be clear.
Pretty sure Leodin is going to grab both of their shoulders and is going to just very aggressively, but because of how they are, very softly pull them back.
I think the moment Nick feels that, his instincts are going crazy too. He knows what being hunted feels like. I think he's going to also clothesline Addie. If he has to grab them around the neck, he will. Just nope! Under the bed, everyone under the bed.
Yeah, I was just distracted. So I was not paying attention to this would-be creature outside the door.
Mm-hmm. All right. The 3 of you hurry to the bed. Why will this not? Hello. There we go.
Hello.
Hello?
Here to move about the country.
Hmm?
There, as you all press underneath this large bed, kind of do the child move of covering your mouths in hopes that it will somehow quiet your breathing.
Mhm.
Something enters the main room. You had all pulled the bedroom door behind you, but it hadn't quite latched, so it swung back open a couple inches.
Mhm.
So while it's hard to see into the main room, there's glimpses. Something massive enters the main room. It's wreathed in shadow. It walks on 4 legs. It's It's almost as big as a building. It barely fits through the front door, you can all assume. And something is walking with it. A person, more normal sized. But there is an odd metallic sound to their footsteps. Kind of this jangle. And you three all hear a voice speak. Now, is there anything else in here? Or do we need to go look for the motherfucker himself? And I need the three of you to roll stealth, please.
We're still within an hour, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't been that long.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been like 10 minutes, maybe. That's a 24.
My luck has run out.
13!
13.
Oh, 13s!
Oh, wait, sorry, 14 because of my dex. But
You guys got total rolls of practically what I got on the die.
As you all are fighting to hold your breath, hold as still as possible, not make some involuntary sound of fear.
Yeah, I just turned to
What'd you say, Chloe?
I turned to Nick and whisper very, very quietly, I need to sneeze.
Can I give them the help action, considering I am a practiced thief? I know how to sneak around places.
When I ask for a roll again, you can give a help action, because in this moment, the big beast kind of gives a rumbling sound to whatever that person said, and you hear massive footsteps head in the direction of the office. And as the odd jangling footsteps of the other person begin to move towards the bedroom, that's when you realize the feeling of the predator isn't the monster. And as the person comes into better view in the crack of the doorway, massive, wide-brimmed hat, dark, scraggly hair streaked with gray, kind of this poncho wreathed around her. She is the danger. Every instinct is screaming that she will kill and destroy and consume. And as she enters the bedroom, I need all three of you to roll stealth again. And yes, you guys can give each other the help action, so you can all roll with advantage.
Play.
25.
Oh my god!
25 as well.
Chloe.
What did you roll? A 6 and a natural 1.
Oh.
That's still a 16. That's still a 16.
Something.
6. Yeah, 16. Stealth is dexterity, so -1.
That's a 15.
Yeah, I see. Yes.
Chloe, I think you need different dice.
No, but I don't use these dice really. I'm using my cranberry set that Sarah got me for Christmas, and then my green floral set that Wilder got me.
And I think they both hexed
Cleanse
them.
I think you need to cleanse them.
I think I do, but do you know what? The full moon was yesterday, and I missed it, and I didn't even put my crystals out.
Real. Chloe, I need
Throw
to
them bitches in
know
the damn river.
this person, as they enter the room
Oh, I know.
and move to
Am
the
I
side
having
of the... Hold on. As they enter the
Okay.
room and are circling around the bed, maybe checking, maybe searching, they rolled a flat 19 on the dice.
Oh no.
And it is still and silent for a moment, and you think maybe you weren't noticed when Addie, a hand wraps around your ankle and tugs. And you are dragged bodily out from under the bed.
No, stop.
You are pulled out from under the bed, and a woman is staring down at you. maybe in her 50s, wrinkles lining her face, frown lines for sure. There's odd metal pieces strapped to her hips, and she is staring at you with a steely gaze. Now, what do we have here? Who are you, child?
Love, am I getting feelings of dread when I look at her?
Oh, certainly.
Oh, yeah, I knew it.
Wow, hey, let me go grab art for this character. That's so crazy. That's
Wow, that's so crazy that I
That's
would know who this person is.
That's so crazy, guys. That's so crazy that I would do something with my favorite NPC ever. It's loading.
Yes!
I have seen this one before.
Nice.
My computer isn't loading. Oh, there we go.
Them thighs.
That butt.
This bitch has never missed leg day in her life.
Oh, certainly. Speaking of which, I didn't want to tip my hand too soon, but... her theme song.
That it when a villain has a...
Yeah! But do you say anything in response to her, Addie?
Can you put me down, please?
How about first you tell me what you're doing here?
Leaving?
Uh-huh.
Escaping.
Now that's interesting. Escaping.
Running.
Does that mean
But
you're...
I can't run when you're holding me, so can you put me down, please?
Oh, certainly not. Her hand tightens around your ankle.
I like... Was it like a cat? Wriggle like a cat.
She's not budging. Now,
Turton, can you put me down?
why do the Thorn fucks have a child? Don't tell me they're recruiting again.
What's recruiting? Don't know what that is.
She kind of snorts, and you hear a sound out in the main room, and a voice comes out. Esper, did you find anything? The woman kind of tilts her head and speaks over her shoulder. I think he's done replaced you. But doesn't seem to be dangerous. Tell me, little one, have they bled you yet?
Have they? I know. I only saw blood today because there was a night and she was stabbed with a spear and we ran and then there were tomatoes on the floor and it looked like blood as well. Is that bleeding?
She kind of narrows her eyes at you, and she does set you down, but before you can wriggle too far, that hand is now around your throat, pinning you. And if she leaned down any further, she could probably see the other two, but she hasn't. And she... and Addie, as she holds your gaze, I need you to roll wisdom, please. At disadvantage.
Az is on the rug and just shouted nonce. That's an 11.
Right. Well, Addie, you feel something you've never felt before. There's hands, long clawed fingers that rake through your very mind. Not ripping, not tearing, but like someone who doesn't care is just leafing through a pile of your thoughts. Peels them apart bit by bit, looking for something you don't know what. And it causes fear to crawl into the back of your throat. Your body feels cold. It feels like maybe what you think dying might feel like. But eventually the feeling passes, and the hand on your throat loosens slightly as she says, "Alright. Since you haven't been bled yet, I suppose I can let this be for now. I think my allies wouldn't take all that kindly if I splattered a kid." She stands up and kind of pushes you aside with her boot to step around you. Now, I would suggest not running. It's real tempting to chase when they run.
Okay, well then turn around and then I'll run. Don't look at me.
She kind of narrows her eyes at you, but steps out of the room, begins to close the door, and stops, and says, "I can smell from the fear of you little mice that, well, you're not a danger. But there's certainly big bad things that would just love to gobble you up." And she closes the
Don't
door
gobble
with
me
a
up.
click. And the three of you are in a closed bedroom.
I'm just like shivering on the bed.
There's some brief voices outside. There's the massive thing moving, shifting. There's some raised voices. But it seems whatever argument is taking place is moving outside.
I think Nick squirms out from underneath the bed. Is there a chair in here, perhaps? A stool, something I can wedge under the doorknob?
There's like essentially like a small, whatchamacallit, like a, not a couch, what's it called when it's just the one? Like an armchair.
A couch, but there's only the one.
Listen.
That's a chair. I didn't ask if there was a chair.
Man.
Yeah, Nick is gonna, drag chair to door and wedge under doorknob. And then he's going to drop his loot at the foot of the bed, climb onto bed, and just, sit back to back with Addie, just that was scary.
Have you two been bled?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure it would have mattered. There was some blood in Creed's desk, and I'm pretty sure I just splattered it all over the floor. So I'm not sure if it matters.
As you crawl back out, Layden, with your kind of still increased perception towards that feeling from before, you can sense it moving away, still within the fort, but heading in other directions, apparently having satisfied whatever she was doing here. It is up to you guys whether you want to stay here or continue trying to flee.
So she said don't run. What if we walk?
Well, can we walk fast but not a run?
No, not even. She said it's tempting when they run. So we just don't run. Like, we don't even walk fast. We grab the food and we walk like we own the place out the door.
Okay. And then if she looks, we stay still.
Yeah, I like this plan. Yes.
Leah, darling, you okay with that?
I don't know if this is stupid or not.
I don't know either, but I don't have a better idea. And a stupid idea is better than no idea. So, unless you have a less stupid idea...
What if we go to sleep?
But we were totally...
That feels like a stupider idea.
But hear me out. If we die, we'll be asleep.
Unless they want to torture us first. In which case, we will wake up and it'll hurt. And then we will die while we're awake.
But, hear me out. We wouldn't be running.
Walking is still not running.
As you're
I don't know how far their technicalities go.
As you're all debating this, the floor shakes again, and it is by far the strongest that it has been. And I need all of you to roll dexterity.
Dexterity! 14.
15.
You said 15.
This
Mark?
died.
Yep.
Slay.
Dexterity.
Which one, Clay?
Oh my god. A 1. An unnatural 1.
Oof.
An unnatural, not natural. Unnatural.
Chloe! Get a different die, bud! Please! You're going to kill this child!
The floor is shaking, and listen, all three of you kind of are shaken off the bed because as the legs of it are collapsing. The ceiling is creaking, it's leaning down, there's planks in it snapping. It's not secure. And I need Leah and Nick, you each take 4 damage. But it's not from falling, it's not from something collapsing on the two of you. Something constricts in your chests, squeezing in. There is a pressure of the world itself kind of contorting in on itself, squeezing almost like a muscle cramping, but it is the very air. And Addie, Hey, Addie, how many hit points do you have?
10.
Okay, great. I need you to take 7 damage.
We now have the
God.
same number of hit points.
What? Am I the only one with like nothing?
I have 3.
I'm sitting at 2.
Yeah, so it's 3, 3, and 2. We're all still right there with you, bud.
Dang.
I started with 6.
Yeah,
I started with 7.
you guys succeeded on the check.
How does Chloe have 10?
Because they rolled an 8 and have a +2 con, probably.
Yeah. And exactly, I've got +2 con. in my head, I'm an Earthjotty. I'm hardy, so I gave myself strong con.
Go off.
Yeah, hard, very hard, so very
Good
hard.
fucking thing you did.
uh, but the air itself now, even as the quake fades, it feels heavy to breathe. Your body, each of your bodies, just your nerves, this sixth sense of danger is telling you you're in danger, but it's everything. Everything feels like danger.
Still want to go to sleep?
Kind of.
Okay, you can die here. Nick's gonna go for the chair, move the chair, grab the food, and start walking for the door.
Yeah, I don't want to bleed, and I follow Nick and I grab Leodan. I pull Leodan up and drag them along. We're not bleeding here.
I'm bleeding now.
No, it's just there's no air. That's not bleed.
Yeah, you guys just gotta go find the masks that are dropping from the ceiling. You know how it be. But as you guys exit the bedroom, go into the main room of this longhouse, there's no one here. The floor looks torn up around the office, but you guys don't need to go to the office. And heading towards the main door, back out into the fort proper. The sky, there's definitely even more pieces falling now. It is full of these brilliant bright lights that are streaking downwards. None of them look close enough to hit, but maybe in an hour or so, there might be some impacts. The fighting is more intense. There's distant shouting. The fighting is within view of where you guys are now. But there's no sign of that woman from before or the shadowy beast that she was with.
Nick is going to put on the ring because fuck it, he's gonna die at the ripe old age of 9, probably.
Slay.
And then he's gonna just start walking for the gate.
Yeah, you put it on, and there is the immediate feeling of a tug in your gut. And somehow, Nick, you know there is a matching ring to this one. This is a pair. And the matching ring is under you? Question mark. Somewhere in the ground, kind of to the left, under another one of the buildings, but definitely under. And you feel a little more secure somehow. Like this ring is making you a little safer.
I, Connor, have ideas about what's going on, but I don't think Nick has any idea what to so I think he's gonna be like, there's a cellar. Do I want to go to the sky is falling? Fuck it. And goes for the gate.
Are you heading
like,
to the
and none of
main
that
or the
happens
back?
out back gate.
Alright. As you begin to turn and lead the other two towards the back gate, since I assume you two are following.
Yeah. Yep.
Begrudgingly.
I need to
Nick
know.
has somehow ended up in charge.
Yeah, I need to know, are the kids holding hands?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
At least Addie and Leodana.
So valid.
My hands are just like fully spread open. Like I refuse to accept this right now because I am being pulled.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not holding hands, it's Addie pulling Leodana along.
It doesn't take long to circle around the edge of this building. Being very careful to have very measured steps and definitely not be running.
No, we are just walking with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to state for the record that we are not trying to sneak either.
Mm-hmm.
So
As you circle, there is a twitch of smell to the air as you round the last corner. Fire. And you can see some parts of the outer wall of the fort look to be slowly catching ablaze. And as the back gate comes into view, it is more the size of like a regular doorway. There's several large locks on it. It looks like it may have been at one point barricaded to keep anything from breaking it down. But the barricades are currently being pulled aside. There is a knight there with kind of this dull, kind of bronze armor. They have dark skin, white hair. They're pulling aside the barricade and kind of muttering to themselves, looking hurried. And all three of you recognize this knight as one of Creed's kind of like, trusted lieutenants kind of vibe. Their name is Carol. There's blood on their armor, but they don't look actively injured as they kind of are pulling these barricades aside to get towards the back gate.
I think Nick just kind of walks up and goes, "I think I found the key."
Kroll jumps a bit at the sound and spins around. There's kind of this frenzied light to their eyes. This panic, but also determination to do something no matter what. And they take in the sight of the three of you, taking a couple heartbeats longer than you would like to recognize you. And some of this frenzied energy seems to lift as Kroll kneels and says, Good. The three of you are all right. You have the key? Good, come here.
I hold out the two keys. Just like, I think this is them.
Mm-hmm. They grab the bigger one, kind of a bit harsher. The metal of their armor catches on your hand, but doesn't break skin or anything. Just in a rush. And they turn to finish pulling off the last of the barricade, speaking over their shoulder. Good. This means that all of us can get away. We can go to maybe one of the secondary forts. It'll be fine. It'll be okay.
As long as we don't run.
They kind of pause
Yeah, we
at
can't
that.
run.
No running. Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said. She says that she likes running after things, so if we don't run, then she won't come after us.
Kroll kind of sighs and their shoulders slump. The Dread and her hound are here. Fuck. We take down one and there's just another behind. Alright, okay. We'll be fine. We can make it. They've pulled the last barricade free and start to unlock the door before freezing and slowly turning to look at the three of you. Have you guys been bled yet?
No, she said that. And what's that?
Immediately, Kroll is kind of kneeling back to a similar height as you three, and speaking in a more gentle tone. It's something that'll keep you safer. It's a promise, and it allows the magic of the Thornband, and our leader Creed himself to keep you safe no matter what happens.
She said that was the only reason she didn't kill us is because we hadn't been bled yet, so I'd rather not.
Well, that's because she's a very, very evil person.
Okay, so you're telling me that the evil person wants me to kill me because of something you're telling me to do. So why... What?
but she won't get you while I'm here. I'm strong enough to fight her off. I've killed one of her kind before. And the more people we have who've bled, the stronger the Thornband is. So this will make you all safer. And it will also make us safer. And Kroll is kind of giving you this smile.
Is the gate already unlocked?
No.
Damn it.
Can I sneak around to unlock the door?
I would say, one, it would be a disadvantage, and the DC would be so high, because you are actively in their sight range, and they are paying attention to the three of you.
What if I cast blinding lights in their eyes? And then somebody else...
Yeah, I was about to say, go for dancing light. Okay, here's the
If
plan.
you want to.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I have an idea.
Okay.
Because we have to be quick, right? Because Cora wants to leave. So what if we leave and promise to be bled afterwards?
That's a point. I think Nick is just going to be like, okay, can we get away from the big scary monsters and then worry about your weird blood ritual thing?
Something of Pidgey, I wonder what part of what you said bothers Kroll, and you can see their face briefly twist in anger, but then it smooths out. Alright, we can leave first, but then we do need to do it no matter what. In my opinion, that should have been done as soon as the three of you got here, but Creed is soft. Well,
Okay, but can we go? So the monster...
I told you,
I
the
want
monster
away
won't get
from
you
the
while
monster.
I'm here. And Kroll is standing up. They turn to the gate. They unlock the door and begin to open it. Later, that, not the same feeling. It is a feeling of danger, but it's not from the predator. It's not from that woman. You feel the grass shift. You hear the whisper of the leaves. It warns you of danger. But not for you. Not for the three of you. For Kroll. And I'll let you decide what, if anything, you want to say.
Leodin is going to yank their hand away from you and is going to, at this point, just say, "I'm not going."
I think Nick has already had an escape plan at this point. Hears that and backs away from Kroll and casts Thaumaturgy to make his voice real, real loud. And he just goes, "Miss Dread, there's another knight back here trying to run away!"
Kroll had the door open a couple inches and had started to turn
And then
back.
he's going to cast Thaumaturgy
Yes.
again to slam the door
Hold
open.
on. Hold on.
What if she's Mrs. Dread?
As Kroll is beginning to turn, face screwing up in this intense anger the three of you have never seen, something that's been waiting on the other side of the gate moves. The door is yanked open by twisting vines and roots, and nature claims Kroll. You watch as vines and leaves stuff themselves down their throat, immediately choking, pulling apart the armor with a strength that should not be possible. It consumes this night. Blood is pouring from their eyes as nature creeps through the doorway, and something that was waiting there laughs. This gentle laugh, and begins to pull Kroll into crowds of leaves and bushes that are pressed right up against the doorway. But you three are safe.
I think Nick's going to look at the Earth Genasi and the baby druid and just kind of go, "Are we gonna be okay if we go out there?"
I don't know.
I want to go to bed.
I would also like a nap. A nap sounds really good, but I don't want a nap here.
I kind of do.
We will find you a nice tree to go nap under.
There's a sound of something shifting, of soft material against soft material, and then boots, as a voice comes from above all three of you. Hey, I heard, someone calling for Miss Dread, not something I ever thought I would hear. There is someone unfamiliar to the three of you, perched on the top of the fortress walls. Wings kind of spread to balance him. They've got kind of this soft golden color with like brown markings. He has dirty blonde hair, dressed in armor and wielding a bow, and smiles down at the three of you. He doesn't feel like danger.
I point at Nick and go, he did it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Nick's
highlight
just-
Nick with the dancing lights.
Nick's just gonna kind of like shuffle the pack higher up on his shoulders and like kind of gesture at the door. Yeah, one of the knights decided he wanted to do something stupid and possibly evil.
Make us bleed.
Yeah, that.
The blood
and
thing.
Oh,
yeah, it was some weird blood ritual thing, and people always accuse me of doing weird, bad blood ritual things. So I figured I didn't want to get involved with that, and since Miss Dread was the one who was wandering around killing the knights, I figured she was the best one to call for. Because I just want to not be here where things are dying. Apparently the sky is falling.
well, Miss Dread definitely isn't the best to call, but I can see why you would have done so. Hold on a second. Shifts and with a small flap of wings kind of hops down the 10 or so feet to land on the ground with you guys. Well, glances towards the still shifting leaves and vines blocking the doorway and the blood on the ground. Looks like that night is taken care of. It's definitely dangerous out here right now. None of us would purposely hurt you, but we have someone who's very eager with Fireball. So why don't we get you guys somewhere a little safer? It's definitely good. You guys haven't had, no one's ever like cut your wrists or like your palms or had you drink blood or anything like that.
I smashed some blood that was in the captain's desk, so even if he did do that in my sleep or something, I'm pretty sure I fixed it.
That's probably fine.
I once had a hamburger that was too undercooked.
Well, that's not very good for your tummy, but you should be okay. Now, why don't we get you guys somewhere a little safer? I heard that there's a safe room. We can tuck you guys there, and once the sky is done falling, we'll see about getting you guys a little more settled, huh?
Nick couldn't find the safe room, so we thought we would run out the gate instead. But if you know where the safe room is, that's good.
I have a someone very nice who told me definitely willingly where it was. But come on.
I think there's still people down there.
Oh, I know.
I'm not sure I like the way you said that.
Oh no, they're why we're here.
Who's we?
Could you be more specific? Because a lot of people are dying, and I want to know why people are
Yes.
dying and why several of them have tried to kill us about it.
Yes. So the Thorn Band kills their whole mission is to kill things that me and my friends are also friends with, and they killed our best friend. And they took some people that are important to us. So we're just here to take them back.
I mean,
That sounds fair.
That sounds fair.
Yeah. Now, to the safe room. He holds out one hand if anyone wants to take it, but won't make anyone.
Oh, I will.
Leodin just wants a fucking nap.
As you take his hand, you notice he is wearing a ring that kind of catches your eye, as it is in the pattern of kind of twirling vines and leaves. But he leads you, leads the three of you, walks without fear, and anytime the three of you encounter fighting, he walks through it with zero worries, and any of these quote-unquote enemies of the Thorn Band kind of immediately shove the knights out of the way. But this winged stranger leads you all towards another one of the buildings. Those of you who have paid closer attention, so probably Nick, know that it's the armory. And he enters it and points towards a doorway that's immediately on the left. The cells and the safe room should be down there. I'm just going to do a quick sweep to make sure there's nobody dangerous down there. And when I yell for you guys, you can come down, okay?
Nick takes the ring off his hand and holds it up and just goes, "This is what told me there's probably still people down there, so here you."
Something kind of sad crosses his face as he sees the ring, and he takes it gently. Thank you very much. This belonged to one of our friends who was killed.
Oh, the other one. Okay, there's a dead body. Okay.
He kind of gently ruffles your hair, and then turns and calmly walks down the staircase. There's some brief yelling from down there, what sounds like fighting, but, the three of you are good to wait a little bit.
I mean, we're not running.
Yeah. There is a prickle at your necks. The doorway to the armory had been left open by this guy, and standing in the doorway watching the three of you. It can't quite fit through the doorway, but it is there, head blocking nearly the entire thing. A massive creature wreathed in shadow. Impossible to make out what it looks like underneath, but the head is canine-shaped, and it is staring at the three of you with pure white eyes.
It's Puppy!
Hello.
It kind of
Nick,
gives...
I think is.
Go ahead.
I think Nick is gonna put up a middle finger and just be like, "You're in the way," and flick a wrist at the door so it slams shut in his face.
It gives a surprise snort at the puppy, but the door slams shut.
No.
Can I go and open the door?
Yeah.
Can I go with you?
Oh, look at you.
Nick is using his sack of potatoes and rations as a pillow.
You've curled up on the floor.
No, he has plopped it like in a corner against a wall and has just sprawled out, like arms crossed, feet out in front of him, head on his backpack, just like, "I don't know what the fuck's going on, but that's a really big shadow dog and I don't want to fucking deal with it, and there's a bunch of and they want to go pet this thing, so I don't want to fucking deal with it. So if they want to open the door, I will slam it behind them. If they die, they die."
All right. The door opens.
Very carefully. I do it gently.
Yeah, the creature's still waiting there. And do you reach towards it?
No,
I do.
I say hi.
You hold out your hand, and you watch as the creature bends. There's no opening of the mouth. There's just a rumble sound that you realize quickly is sniffing. And then the shadows peel back, and there is dark brown fur that sniffs your hand and gives it a little nudge.
Oh, I'm petting the puppy.
Okay, I stroke it.
As you begin petting the puppy, whose snout is nearly the entire size of you,
Big puppy.
the shadow peels back a bit more, and you can see the face properly. Dark brown fur, definitely wolf? Question mark. Allows the pets and is just kind of staring at the two of you with this sort of unreadable expression.
Don't worry about Nick. He gets grumpy and then slams doors. But then we will always open them.
You're such a cute little fella.
Gives a kind of a dog snort.
Oh,
Can
Can I pet that dog?
I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
There are footsteps on the stairs. The door is opened, and the guy reappears, saying, "All right, we should be good." Kind of pauses, seeing the two of you pet the dog, and he sighs. "Wolf, I thought you were supposed to be helping the dread." The dog snorts at him. Right. All right. Yeah, I suppose you can watch the kids. I'll go and help the others. And somehow the dog gets a little smaller, at least enough that she can fit through the doorway. And she squeezes through, kind of nudging the two of you out of the way.
Pocket-sized puppy.
She's still much bigger than any of the three of you.
Pocket-sized puppy.
And as she go, the shadow peels back more, almost entirely, mainly just remaining on her spine. Dark brown fur, kind of a golden mark on her left shoulder. And she sits down and lets the two of you continue petting her, and she stares up at the winged man expectantly, like waiting for him to speak. Right, well, the three of you should be good to go into the safe room. It's good and secure. Even if there's another earthquake, it shouldn't collapse. I checked the foundations. Please, I tucked away mostly things that shouldn't be seen. So I just asked that try not to look in the cells. It's not great down there.
Did you check their pockets?
No, that's a later job. We have a specialist for that.
Fucking amateur. And Nick grabs his bag, heads down to the cellar, throws it down, and goes to the cells to start checking pockets.
You have to stroke the puppy first.
He absolutely fucking does not, and he won't.
He's lost.
His professional pride as a pickpocket has been offended.
Real. As the man begins to move past you two sitting petting the dog, he pauses at the doorway and says, "Right, I'm going to go and help the others, kind of take care of the last of the Thorn Band. If you guys need anything, don't yell for Miss Dread. Yell for me. Just yell for Lucius, and I'll come right away. Okay?"
Okay.
He steps outside. And he kind of tosses over his shoulder, "Wolf, keep an eye on them." And there's a gentle poof, like a woof.
Okay. Come on, Wolf. Let's follow. Come on, Wolf. Come on, here, then. Let's follow Nick, and then shouts after Nick. Nick, it's not pickpocketing if they're quiet. It's stealing.
If they're quiet. What a way to say dead.
Yeah.
Connor was having trouble parsing that one.
Isn't pickpocketing also stealing?
The
It's
wonderful
only
logic of children.
pickpocketing if they can stop you.
Wolf awkwardly lumbers down the stairs after the three of you, but you all enter into the cellar, or what might be better referred to as the cells, as you are greeted to a short hallway, and on each side there is a series of 3 cells, so 6 in all. There is the body of a Thornband knight, kind of slumped in the corner. Clearly has been covered with a blanket to try and hide wounds and death, but still clear enough. And in each of the cells are still locked, but there are bodies in each of them. And
Nick is sticking to the plan.
Yeah.
He is rifling pockets. If he finds a nice little dagger or something, he will pocket that shit.
Are you trying to
Just
get into the cells as well?
If he can.
Yeah.
If there's a key or something he can pick a lock with, anything like that, he 100% will. There is for sure a comment under his breath, calling it the fucking cellar. They just said the goddamn dungeon. I would have known. I feel like the dungeon is something he would have known to look for immediately, because he's just I will end up in there one day and I need to know how to get out.
Go ahead and roll a flat dexterity check.
Dexterity. That is 15. This die rolls like a monster. I basically have reliable talent, except it's just the die, because every roll on this bitch has been between 10 and 15.
Nick is fated to be a rogue one day.
Apparently.
For many reasons.
Or a wizard. A rogue or a wizard with 14 dex and 16 int.
But you get the cells open with minimal issues. Spend some time doing it. There's nothing particularly exciting on most of the bodies. They were prisoners. They were probably searched before they were put in here. There's a shiny necklace here, something like that. Bits and bobs. In the last cell on the right, there is kind of a furry body. It is a dead tabaxi, kind of with calico coloring. And you find the matching ring tied to a cord on their neck. What, Chloe?
Yep. I was, the second you start describing characters, I'm just all right, I'm Chloe's reaction, because they're gonna recognize. And I knew this one was gonna be someone they recognize.
You just admitted me.
It looks like a teenager.
It's me.
Chloe is having too many emotions to be coherent.
Well, Chloe, at least you know now why they stormed the fort with such intensity.
Yeah, no shit. Wow.
I think Nick sees that one, kind of goes, not that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then just goes, Wolf, I found your friend, and then moves on.
She is kind of peering through the bars, ears flat against her head and just kind of staring sadly. But the one remaining door that you have not opened yet is not a cell. It is a proper door. And upon opening it, there is a stone room with what looks like some dry rations on shelves, some small bunks, and it looks like this is indeed a safe room. As on the other side of the door, there is very intense locks, so that you can lock yourself inside.
Cool. And genuinely, I think he just kind of goes, like, sticks his head in, goes, okay, yeah, that's the safe room. That makes sense. Why do you put it next to your person? This seems like bad design. Whatever. And then just, like, goes back to his bag and goes, I'm tired. And, like, starts, like, does that thing when you're a kid when you're not sure if you should eat or take a nap. And so he starts eating and then, like, starts falling asleep with his face resting on an apple.
Fair. Wolf gently shoves the other two into the room as well. Kind of, like herding dog moment.
Sheepdog.
Real. And gets up on back legs to kind of tug the door closed behind you guys. She stares expectantly at the two of you, and then over at Nick, getting ready to take a rest. Looks back and forth a couple times as if implying, "Lay down now."
Okay.
All right.
Go and lay down.
Occasionally. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, just Leah didn't gonna go lay down, but is gonna try to be as close to the puppy as possible.
Yeah. Once all three of you are down, she does flop across like all three of your feet, just kind of gently pinning you all there.
Adorable. Yes.
Occasionally, the ground does continue to shake, but a half hour passes. An hour passes. An hour and a half. You guys have been able to get some rest, essentially some short rests. So you can each have back, let's say, 3 hit points.
I'm at 6 of 7.
Woohoo!
I am nearly at full health.
I'm at 5 of 6.
Woohoo!
I'm also at 6.
Woohoo! And just before maybe the 2-hour mark, there's footsteps outside on the stone. And the voices are muffled through the closed door, but there's 2 people that seem to be discussing something. One of them seems to be the voice of that guy, Lucius, saying, yeah, 3 of them, I don't think they've been, converted. There isn't the stuff in their blood yet, so they should be clean, but should probably be, checked over by someone proper other than Dread. But I left Shadowing to take care of them. What do we do? Do we take them back to the city? Do we try to find somewhere else to put them? I mean, the sky is falling. Is this it? Is this the change? And there's a female voice that responds to him and says, well, I don't think we can exactly know. Certainly the sky, it's troubling. The Archfays are saying that this might be it. We might be slitting again. I mean, there's my mother's house. I could take them there. I could maybe take care of them until things calm down. Maybe you could come with? There's some silence. And then the man, Lucius, says again, Yeah. I mean, we'd still come back to check on everyone else, but if this is it, yes. Yeah. I mean, you've got your new role now, so that's important. Yeah. There's a quiet knock at the door, and there's Lucius's voice saying, Hey, kids, are you awake?
Nick flings what's left of the apple at the door. Says, "Go away, sleeping."
Wolf hadn't locked the door behind you guys, because, dog.
Lack of thumbs. You tell me this dog can't lick the lock shut?
Yes, I
Totally
am
sure.
telling you that. But, so the door does get opened without any issue. And Lucius is standing there, definitely more battle-worn than before, far less arrows in his quiver. And he kind of smiles at the three of you, seeing you resting. Well, so the fighting is done, but it looks like some bad things are going on. We think, I don't know, I guess you could say a natural disaster, to put it nicely. So, how do you guys feel about going somewhere safe, that we don't have to worry about the sky falling, about any of that, and you guys can just relax until you feel better? Does that sound okay?
I like the sound of that.
Do we have to bleed?
No. You don't have to bleed. You can do whatever you like, and after you feel better, if you decide to leave, you can. But he kind of falters for a second, and a woman's voice from behind him says, But you can certainly stay as long as you like. And stepping around him is a relatively short woman, 4-something, hair to her shoulders, dark brown hair with like a purple streak. She's wearing kind of simple leather armor, and has what shockingly looks like to the three of you fairy wings fluttering against her back, with the tips of them kind of burnt and singed. And she smiles at the three of you. My name's Tori, and I would love to help all of you. We can see about healing your injuries, and I promise, no bleeding. You can do whatever you like. She eyes the sack that Nick is clutching. You can have whatever you like. And I promise, it is the safest place I can manage.
Nick stretches, yawns, says, "Sounds good, but I think your friend's stupid for calling the sky falling a natural disaster. That sounds pretty unnatural."
She laughs at that. I agree. Most certainly. Alright. Shadowing, let them up. The dog rumbles discontentedly, but it does get up. And Lucius smiles and says, Well, I think you're technically supposed to use the roll for something else, but I suppose this is a good first task for a caretaker. And as the three of you are kind of gathered up by Lucius and Tori and eventually led away, we'll leave our one shot there.
I disagree. We are not led away. Boosts Leodan onto the wolf's back and then climbs up himself and says, "Forward unto bedtime."
Real.
Chloe's over there eating dirt.
Real. Real.
That's my baby girl. And I can't find the picture of her because I don't have my laptop, but on my laptop is a drawing that I did of her with her singed wings and everything.
Let me see if I can find it. Let's look.
Okay. I'm trying to think where it is. I think it's just in, like, pictures.
I'm gonna search for Tori.
Yes.
Is this it?
It's got, like, lightning and stuff as well.
Oh, I didn't find. Let me try again. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot. I didn't find that, but I found this.
Yeah, that's the commissioned one I did.
Yeah.
I got.
Where's the other one?
I can't wait to find out what didn't happen to those kids until just now.
Truly. It's fine, guys. It's okay.
We're gonna get like 17 more sessions into Whistle, and then like Charlie and Quinn are gonna be like, "Why are you guys crying over a random tiefling named Nick?" It's like, he became a powerful wizard who got brutally murdered by the veracity. It's so sad.
Chloe, I found it.
You found it?
I think so. Oh. There we go. Yes.
Yes, that's it. I did that.
Yeah. Woohoo.
So yeah, Nor, just so you're fully caught up, Shadow Wing is also known in our campaign as Thorn, and that's the giant fuck-off wolf that is currently running around with Brutus.
Yeah.
Ah.
Mhm. And, Connor, did you catch the name Lucius?
I did, but my brain is not
My
drawing
baby
the connection
boy.
right now.
Yeah, do you want me to tell you, or do you want to leave it?
No, 100%, because I know I recognize it. My brain
Mhm.
just cannot
Yeah,
connect it right now.
your bracelet. That's all I'll say.
Yep. Yep. Because see, my brain remembers Endure, but it doesn't remember Lucius for some.
No, Lucius is his real name. But yeah, this definitely isn't something that took place thousands and thousands of years ago. Don't worry about it, guys.
Oh no, that gave it away for me like immediately.
What, that he was still a normal person?
No, also the fact that it was alluded to that someone had just become a caretaker,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh, okay, so this is a way back. Okay, they are new to the job. They just got into that.
Mm-hmm. The Weary Night hasn't even been made yet.
Yeah, although now I have some deep concerns about the origins of why Bruce has a thorn scar on his palm.
I mean,
No, he hasn't.
I have concerns about the origins of that symbolism.
Oh no.
I mean, you guys didn't look closer at any of the things. I'll tell you right now. There was reference a couple times to Creed having kids, about him having portraits of his kids, that kind of thing. And I'll tell you now, you children don't know the name of any of Creed's kids. But someone certainly knew the layout of the fort very well and gave that information over. And maybe hiding in a different form out of shame. So I'll say straight up, Wolf slash Thorn is the daughter of Creed.
/ Shadowwing.
Yeah,
Oh god, that's fucking harsh.
names are fake. Which is why, with the group being named Thornband, she named herself Thorn. So that, to like always remember that.
That's fucked up.
Normal guy stuff. She learned how to do blood oaths from somewhere.
Insane.
Truly.
Oh god. Brutus is gonna kill so many fucking people when he figures out more about these people. It's gonna go real bad, and the whole party's gonna be like, "You the one talking about mercy?" And he's like, "Most lives are sacred."
Real. I will BRB in for like 12 seconds. What, buddy?
1,
Somebody count him.
2,
There we go.
3,
Okay.
4, 5, 6,
Yes.
7,
I can do dinner.
8,
Yes.
Where do you
9,
want to go for dinner?
10,
Um,
11 Mississippi, 12 Mississippi.
Hush you. Give me a sec. Thunder is talking.
Is that Chloe?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. So maybe.
All right, I'll be back in a little bit. I have to poop.
Go poop, girl.
Okay. What
You
time?
guys are too comfortable.
Okay. Sounds.
5:30.
Yeah.
Maybe leave
Yeah.
the house by 5:30. Maybe by 6.
Okay. Meet you at the house.
What you
at
can't hear
6.
is Kaz just went, "You should see us at work."
Hey. I'm still on call, so I'm still talking to some people. But we're all
Yeah.
good now.
I think so. I think that's all enough.
Hello.